2019 Club Championship here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We've got a marquee matchup, if ever I've seen one. It's the Pittsburgh Gods and the Montreal Redlite. Redlite, of course, coming out of retirement for this tournament specifically. If you'll recall, Friday night, this was the big matchup because these teams played in a pool together, and it came down to the wire in a 5-3 final, although really that fifth one for the Gods was an empty netter. So this was basically a one-goal game, and are we expecting the same thing in this one?
Chris, I think you can expect to be a tight one again. Great game on Friday. We were blessed to see it once, but to see it again the same weekend, let's get ready to rock and roll, huh?
We've got Steve Gregory and Nelson Vargas Diaz facing off on the opening face-off. And this one basically controlled by the Gods. Handed back and right into the zone very quickly. Quick shot and a save. Redlite sending that one up into the line. Walking in to the circle. Tristan fires, big save. Loose, poked in, but the whistle happened. And that's the no goal. And the Redlite are incensed.
What a move by Redlite there, huh?
Matthew David was the one who was driving it down on the left-hand side. It got underneath the goaltender, John Rethage. Poked in, but it was on the wrong side. The official couldn't see it. He blows it dead, and that's no goal. Nothing you can do about it. 9:42 left to go here in the first, and we remain scoreless. Face off in the Gods zone. Nelson Vargas Diaz once again taking it against Steve Gregory. This time the Redlite come out with it. T1 up, back on the point. Bouncing off the net. Rethage making sure that nothing comes of that one. Rick Zimick of the Gods tries to clear it out and gets it up to Gregory. Tries to get back down to Zimick, but it was broken up. Vargas Diaz, number 9 in red, showing quite the presence early on. Rethage forced to make another save. Teams will change it up. 9:27 left to go here early. Of course, 3 10-minute periods with full stoppage time.
Hey, Chris, what a move by 17 there from Redlite, but a phenomenal save by Rethage in goal. You can expect that from him all
Kevin
game long.
Kozmarski's got great hands, and he showed it there. New player set to face off. It was a win, but the official rules it unfairly done so, and we will reset. Another draw to the left of Rethage. Players hunker down. That one won again by Redlite. Shot! Rethage on that right point, sort of right wing side for the Redlite. A third consecutive win, but this time powered through by the Gods, and they get it across the red line. Scooped all the way back down and picked up by Jean Amo. Amo carries behind the net, fends off a forechecker, and the Redlite break out. Chips that one right over his man. Quick move, sliding. Jonathan Tanguay. Now down in the corner, 2 big bodies crunch. Coming away with that is Jordan Allwright. Teams exchanging chances back and forth. Nothing solid, though. We're seeing some tight neutral play and some tight play down in the corners. A little bit of discussion at the Gods bench. Looked like they were possibly making an illegal line change on the icing. They got 6 players out. Finally, Jim Doherty.
Redlite's trying to make sure they get the right players back on.
So Doherty does stay out, and Albright changes off. 8:51, scoreless first. Alex Burrows set to take the draw. Of course, Alex Burrows, one of the best ball hockey players in the world, returning for this tournament 5-on-5. And there he is in a give and go with his teammate, Yannick Lamotte. Bounced in front. Cleared aside. Another icing. No, waved off. Good race there by Allwright. Kicks it back in front. Stick handle shot blocked. Excellent block there by the Redlite. Second chance. And again, doesn't get through. Eddie McDonough for the Gods trying to power that one through. Good defense. And Burrows is going to send that one in. A little bit of a collision on the blue line, but they rule no harm, no foul, and instead call it an icing. Redlite none too pleased with the bumpy ride that Jeffrey Plouard was forced to take on his left wing side by the blue line. Alas, the complaining is for naught, and we reset with the icing call. Offensive drone Zaw for the Gods. Set to take this one is Eddie McDonough. Won comfortably by the red light. Gods forechecking, they managed to come away with it. On that half wall, tries to charge forward, does Albright. Comes back to the point. Dan Gregory the shot, and cleared aside. Burrows now getting ready to walk it out. This red light team passes so comfortably together, and they do manage to get it out. Now down into the corner. Red light forward, Simone Bielaruducci. Now chance in front! That one didn't quite see Rethage. Now he lays across, stacks the pads. Where is it? It's in the feet, it's in the crease, and the Gods clear it out.
Chris, that first one looked like it hit the post from here.
It may have. Rethage seemed surprised by it. Nevertheless, they're not out of danger. Carried forward, shot, rebound! Now the helmet's off and some of the rough stuff starts happening. Rethage had it. Alexander Perot looked like he was trying to trip one of the Gods players as he trundled through the crease.
Tell you what, 29 between the pipes. He's doing a good job seeing the ball, huh?
Absolutely. John Rethage, one of the most outstanding goaltenders we've seen in this tournament thus far. And there's only so much left to go. The Gods took down the Arsenal in their quarterfinal game earlier today in a 2-1 score. And it was very common for Rethage's numbers to be low. This is a reminder that the red light got him 3 times on Friday. Vargas Diaz. He's been killer in the circle for the red light, and he gets another one. Bide their time, send that one flying. Jeff Gingell on the forecheck, but he doesn't get to it. It's Joel Provost-Blais. Not a whole lot of forechecking pressure. Jeremy Perdy had plenty of time to move that one. Back to Perdy. Gets it across the line, but Gods control. Very comfortable in their own zone. Zimek up to the red line, confronted by Perdy, and now it's back in the zone. Mathieu David. Back to Perdy. Stick handle, shot. Nope, pass. David. Shot, that one doesn't get through. And back around. Vargas Diaz to his knees. Steve Gregory battles him. Into the slot, fakes it. On the backhand. Where is it? And again! Twice in the first 3.5 minutes, the red light have put the ball in the net, but the official blows it dead.
Chris, I'll tell you what, from my angle, that ball looked loose. It might have been under the goalie, but I saw it still rolling around. God's got a break there for sure.
Second one of the early period. 6:26 left to go, and somehow we're still knotted at 0, even though the red light think it should be 2-0. Another contested draw, eventually won by red light. They take a slap shot from outside that misses. A little bit of fencing in the corner here. Coming in heavy and hard. And it's a 2-on-2 confrontation, and there will be a whistle. More rough stuff right in front of the broadcast booth. Roy Dutney of the Gods. A little bit of rough stuff here. I was fixated on the action in front of me. Was that just an offside? It looks like that may have been the case. So the refs allow the rough stuff and say play on. I don't know. Brings that one ahead. In front of the bench, red light, looking for an opening. Jonathan Tanguay trying to get free. Tanguay, again, big body pounding in the corner once more, and he gets on top of his man. More jousting. And coming away with it is Albright. Albright down the right wing side. Shot! Scores!
What a
shot! Jordan Albright, and the Gods have got the first one on the board.
Hey, Chris, like you said, that 18-year-old Jordan Albright from right here in Brighton Heights, Pittsburgh. He's a freshman kid that plays on their 20 and under team. My God, can he run?
Time of the goal. 4:17 of the first. What a display of speed through the neutral zone and the finish. After a little bit of controversy, the Gods get on the board first. Holwa dumps that one in, chased by Alex Burrows. Burrows clashing with Dan Gregory. He comes away with it. Wraparound chance. It's loose. Second opportunity, no. Burrows again, tees it up, goes for the one-timer, and it doesn't get through. Another fast attack attempt. That one is going to go for icing, though, and it'll come all the way back down to the God zone. What do you think about the response from the Redlite on that last shift?
Chris, they've been nonstop. I mean, they're a possession-type team, and that's why you're not seeing the Gods necessarily chase them into their own corners. But, man, just some of the open looks they have, a typical States-type team would take that shot. These guys are going to pass it around. But by all means, they know what they're doing.
Labonte, Turod, and Burrows line up as the forwards. They win the draw again. Very strong in the circle so far. Burrows on the half wall, fakes the cycle, back to Turod. He takes the shot, deflecting off of a God stick, and they work it all the way out. Knocked with a high stick down by Wah, and that'll whistle play dead. Good jump here in the first 5, wouldn't you say?
Chris, the pace has been phenomenal. What do you think?
I mean, it's nothing less than what we expect, especially for a rematch from a game all the way back on Friday night, the first night of the tournament. Gallarducci set to line up against, it looks like is that Gregory or is that McDonough?
Yeah, that's Steve Gregory at the center there.
Expect to see these two a lot. Gallarducci wins it back to his defenseman. He reverses it. They've got time and space and bring it ahead. No, it's eaten up. Takes the shot. Scores! Danny Schlegel from the point, and it's 2-0. Just like that. Time of the goal,
Denny
5:09.
Schlegel with the goal there, Chris. That's one of the best Team USA has to offer.
Seeing some youth, seeing some experience, and the Gods jump out to a big lead. Redlite looking to respond. Tough neutral zone to get through, but they do. In on the forecheck is Perrault, but he can't control it. Flipped high, chasing after them is Ginjo. Muscled off it hard by Armand. Crossed in, they gain the zone. Redlite down in the corner, takes a look back as his team changes behind him. That's Jeffrey Bradley. He gives it away and decides to complete the change. God's thinking the same thing. 4:12 to go. 2-0 early here for Pittsburgh. Takes the move, sends that one up to Doherty, and he comes in. Goaltender Beauchamp plays that one out and tries to spring an attack, and they do. And another errant pass by the Redlite. Not quite connecting as much as we would expect them to. Vargas Diaz now forced to retreat all the way back behind his net and sends it over to Wah. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Levassier. Back to Vargas Diaz. He gains the zone. Sent in from the outside, and Rethage. Quick stop. No rebound on the Matthew David shot. Hawks stopped at 3:36. We see another set of line changes here. Looks like Redlite going all 5. Gods opting to, well, they were going to keep their blue liners. Quick last second change. Chris Liebers goes off. Another offensive zone win. That doesn't materialize in much. 2 shots, 1 got through, and that one banks off the ceiling. We're seeing some offensive face-off dominance by the Redlite, but it's not turning into much yet. They line up again on the left wing side. 3:29 to go. And that one a 50-50, ultimately controlled by the Redlite. Shot, big rebound. Nobody to collect it other than Ennison. They go back and forth. Redlite gain the line. Teams one up. Big pad save. Glove, it's in and out. That one sent around by Richer. On the short glass. Another errant pass intercepted by the Gods. This one, Albright. Doesn't turn into anything. Tries to flip one high. Team struggling to generate some quality scoring chances in the second half of this period. Burrows finds space. Wheels in, got a little bit of a hack. Play on. Right into the slot. That one goes wide. Burrows collects from behind the net. Gives it away. Down it goes, and it will be icing. So a tired group of Gods players forced to take another defensive zone draw here with 2:27 left to go in the first period.
Redlite's really making a push, trying to get one here at the end of the first, huh?
It would be a huge momentum swing, especially after the two, not even disallowed goals, this is the two late goals that ended up not counting. They decided to keep Burrows' line with Labonte and Bluard out there. Jeremy Perdy on the point as well, with Joel Provost-Blay. Really digging in there. Burrows comes away with it. Gets all the way across. Shot! Off the chest, but still in play. Bluard uncorked one from the left circle to no avail. Provost-Blay centers! That may have hit the post. Good pressure now here from the Red Light. They're looking to get something here. We're under 2 minutes to go in the first. And again, stick goes flying. And a race. Albright trying to get that one. Perdy comes out with it first. Back to Bluard. He fumbles and it comes down. Dan Gregory leaves that one for his teammate, Harry Sy. Nice little juke move on the near side by Schlegel. He's got the second goal. Center couldn't quite hit his man, and Red Light take it again. Very methodical. They enter the zone. This is Perrault. Alexander Perrault from behind the net. $1:20 to play in the first. Red Light down by 2. And another one can't get through. Rethage has been solid in this one. Steve Gregory came hard along the near side glass, and he will. I thought he was going to change. Said he waits for the rest of his team to change. Red Light set up in the neutral zone and try to make an entry. They're actually going to do more changing. Long pass. But Bluard got a piece of it. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Kuzmarski. Good body. Excellent body position by Zimic. Coughs that one up, but to his partner, Jared Hurst. Charging after that one is Yannick Jeanfay. He's got a monster of a slap shot, does Yannick. Casually jogging, approaches the red line. Still haven't quite gained the zone, now they do. Kuzmarski, across, on his knees, in the air, and through the crease. 10 seconds to go, another shot, another save. Now down to 7. Teams grind it out. Gods trying to survive the period with their 2-0 lead, and they will. First 10 in the books. Pittsburgh 2, Montreal nothing. What are you thinking, Ryan?
Chris, that's a great period, huh?
Feisty affair on both sides. Got a little physical. If you're Red Light and you get those first 2 goals, both of which get killed by early whistles, what is your approach to the second period?
I'd say keep doing what they're doing. They're not doing anything wrong here, Chris. Yeah, they're down 2-0, but man, they've had plenty of chances. Reth has just been tough, which you can expect that. That would be my talk over the intermission here to them. Keep doing what they're doing. Keep putting balls to the net. Keep working it around.
And conversely for the Gods, I mean, I don't see anything they need to change. Do you?
Yeah, I think if you're the Gods, you're up 2-0. That's definitely not a lead you can just sit on. But you're in the position to start getting the ball in and making them work 200 feet to get back to your zone. Don't try dangling and doing anything fancy here in between the blue lines, because you know Red Light's going to capitalize on that.
It's certainly been a concern that we've noticed throughout this tournament, teams jumping out to early leads only to maybe give too much time and space, and next thing you know it, we saw the Americans answered back a couple of times after falling down 0-2 in the first, and they won both of those games 4-3 in the shootout. So 2-0 lead by no means safe, but definitely money in the bank for Pittsburgh. Another 10 up on the board. We're a third of the way home. Winner of this one punches their ticket to the finals later this afternoon. Thank you for following all of our action here with Memory Video Productions, and hopefully you've been along with the streams all weekend long. We've been having a great time having you here. Second period of another fantastic contest in a packed house tonight. Redlite and Gods. We line up and get ready to start the second period. Goalies are ready, and we're off. Gods win that one quick and gain the zone. Charging after that one is McDonough. Redlite trying to dig it out through this forecheck, and they can't quite. Back out to the high slot, over to McDonough. On the hash marks, and that one just bouncing off the outside of the net. Down in the corner, Chris Liebers can't stop the advance. A little bit of a shove. And they've still got it. Back on the attack, but through feet and back to Carl Gallarducci. Gallarducci looks up. Teams change. Casual jog. Very unflappable play to Gallarducci. Down into the corner. Challenged by Liebers. Liebers marking his man. That one gets blocked. Chance for a break. On the left side, shot. Albright took the shot, blocked easily by Adamo. First minute of the second gone. Jean Adamo. Over to his man, Provoblé. And they can't get inside. Stifled once again by the neutral zone. Burrows barreling ahead of steam. He's still got it, but they've cleared the zone. Chance for the Gods. This one bouncing. Beauchamp defends and deftly sends that one into the corner. Picked by his man, Adamo. Provoblé. They will work it into the zone. Chance now set up in front. Nothing doing. Another counterattack. He doesn't have help. He does gain the line, but it goes nowhere. Provoblé picks that one up off of Beauchamp. And intercepted again by Pittsburgh. Provoblé turns that one back up a field. Simon Gallarducci. They swing at it, but the Gods come away, up but not out. Pressure continuing to mount. Another shot, that one doesn't get through. Jeffrey Bradley's shot turned aside. They start the cycle down low. Looking for options, and given away again. Redlite's attack looking a little stagnant. Beauchamp out of the net, forced to play this one, and he does. Swings that around to get it away from Hunter Godkin. Godkin still there on Perot. Ultimately, Redlite come away. Olivier Levasseur. And again, run into at the blue line. Redlite really struggling gaining the zone. Put that one high and sent back down, and the Gods go to work. Charging after that one is all right. Followed in by him is Potato. Back up to the high point on the red line. D to D. Loads up. Fake. To the dots. Inside. That one's high. Slapped at, but no. Good opportunity, but all right. Couldn't settle it. But again, the stout work of the neutral zone of the Gods prevents a rapid counterattack. Kuzmarski sent that one in. Now held by David. Matthew David's shot rings outside. Holding that one in on the backhand. Second attempt. Vargas Diaz. And he's digging. More of the rough stuff. The shifty Nelson Vargas Diaz. Try as they might. They are still scoreless here. 6:22 to play in the second period. 2-0 your score.
Chris, you got to credit some of the turnovers by Redlite to Gods clogging the neutral zone up. They're not letting them just walk right in, which is what Redlite would like to do.
100%. And I think we've seen all tournament long that neutral zone play has been key, but never has it been so apparent in such a competition that should be pretty close. And right now, feels like the Gods are fairly comfortably in the driver's seat. A lot of hockey left to play, though. Charging after that one is Drew Albright. Comes in hard, they rule it clean. Getting a little grindy. Grindier than you'd expect to see from the red light shot. That one blocked again. They're getting bodies in front of balls and nothing dangerous has gotten through to Rathage. Flipped in by Perdi. Turned aside again. Oh, and an opportunity lost as it just hopped over and onto the bench. 4 minutes gone in the second. We approach the halfway point of the game. 2-0. Pittsburgh Gods up front on the strength of 2 relatively early goals. But after twice, the red light appeared to put the ball in the net, only for it to be blown dead because an official couldn't see it. Tough breaks, nonetheless. Red light persevere and win another offensive zone draw. Shot! Off the net. That was Claude. His shot
that was a great
go.
move. I think he just put it over the bar.
I definitely saw Rathage wave at it, but I don't think he got it. Adamo. He circles back, waits for his men. Levasseur. He sends it into Burrows. Alex Burrows stripped, definitely there by Bujas. Spinning there on the outside is Harry Sy. He goes down, and there will be a penalty. Rathage comes out of the net for some bonus time. And the Pittsburgh Gods with an opportunity to press the advantage even further.
They're telling Johnny to stay for some reason. Not sure exactly why.
I mean, it's clearly a red light penalty.
Yeah, he started coming. The bench told him to stay.
Nonetheless, this is eating into time. Haven't gotten it into the offensive zone, but that's just less time for the red light to work with. And
now,
maybe
Chris,
that's the goal.
I've seen Rathage run before. Now I understand why they're telling him to stay.
Finally, we do get a touch, and the call is a trip. Who is sentenced? Looks like that's number 19, Jeremy Claude. He's been one of the more prolific offensive attackers for red light. Not sure if he's much of a penalty killer. He's a big body and strong, though, and regardless, if Montreal wanted to use his services during this time, they cannot.
Where did he go?
4:32 left to go. 2-0 the score with the Pittsburgh Gods a chance to make it 3 in this semifinal matchup of the 2019 Club Championships here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The host team looking to put a tight grip on the legendary Montreal Red Light. The minute 30 is up on the clock. Nelson Vargas Diaz leaning in on all right. He falls on it. Still 50-50. Gods have it. Steve Gregory quarterbacks the point and directs traffic from up high. Gregory down low. Back to Gregory. Very calm. D to D. Loads up. Scores! It's a power play goal! And Pittsburgh is up 3-0!
Chris, what a shot by 23 for the Gods, Steve Gregory. Couldn't tell. Looked like the ball might have been tipped or redirected in front.
I was thinking the same thing. Schlegel and Pettetto were right there in front. Everybody celebrated the second it went in. Either way, with that many bodies and a shot of that caliber, Beauchamp didn't have much of a chance. Goal comes at 5:47 of the second, and the Gods are up 3-0 over Montreal. And this is only the semifinals. Red Light with their work cut out for them, but half the game left to do it. Paul Roy, casually, and he flips it in. Sy on defense for the Gods. Battling in front, ball comes loose. It's on the red light stick, and another save by Rathage. Loose in front, second opportunity, no! Counter-attack, and here they come. Gains the zone, and given away. flipped ahead and chased down by Dan Gregory, and he will get it. I did hear the official score call was Steve Gregory's goal. That one flipped down by the Gods, and it'll count as icing. Ball comes all the way back for another face-off in the Gods' defensive zone, an area in the circle that they have struggled thus far.
Chris, that last chance that you just saw there down on the Gods was just a simple play by Redlite, getting the line, putting it in behind the net, and working from there.
And I definitely think going forward with just a little over 13 minutes left, you have to think simple is key for them. Drives the net again. Ball is loose. Controlled underneath. Tried to knife that one away. Wraparound chance. Oh. Does Rathage have it? For a second, it looked like Montreal was ready to celebrate. It looks like the net was off.
Yeah, I think that was the call. I think the net come off. They blew it dead. Ball was definitely loose there.
It was definitely hard to see from my vantage point. So if you say it was loose, then that's probably what the call was. 2:59 to go. Alex Burrows set to take this draw against Jeff Kinjal. Burrows wins it. Rohoble turns that one. Given away. Another giveaway by the Redlite. Backhanded centering opportunity. That one high, and Beauchamp gloves it down casually. What is going on with these Redlite turnovers? This is not what I expected.
No, they're usually a well-possessioned team, but I think the Gods know that, and that's why they're clogging up this neutral zone. Like I said, Redlite starts putting it in, gaining that line, putting it in. You might expect to see some more goals from Redlite.
Now Burrows winning another draw. Sent across. Burrows gets that one up to Plund. He was serving that last penalty that resulted in the third goal. They get a chance, and a notably frustrated Montreal player there as Rathage shuts the door. I believe that's Jeremy Pardee, number 14, showing a little bit of frustration.
Chris, Friday, was it a 3-1 lead by Gods at one point? Redlite come back and tie it 3-3? Am I remembering that correctly?
I believe, if not that, it was a very similar scoreline. It got to a point when we thought, okay, for sure, this is going to go one way, and then it absolutely didn't and exploded with an exciting finish.
Yeah, I guess my point is you can't count Redlite out for sure. 3-0 ain't that big of a lead.
Starting to see a little bit of the physical stuff, and how in character is that for Montreal? Because obviously we think about them as a skill team, but is this a team that's also totally comfortable mixing it up?
Sorry, Chris, didn't catch out last thing.
I was asking, we're starting to see a little bit of the rough stuff from the Redlite. We think of them as more of a finesse team, but is it totally within their identity to mix it up from time to time?
I would think so. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever seen them actually play. First time they've really been in the States in a few years. So, again, yeah, I would expect them to be very finesse, but I doubt they're afraid in front of the net, that's for sure.
They've got a lot of big bodies, and they're clearly not afraid to use them. Matching toughness for toughness and speed for speed, but right now, that battle is all Gods as they bring it in again. Jordan, all right. Wheels and shoots!
That didn't miss by much, Chris.
Beauchamp, reach for the sky. All right, tried it again. Chris Liebers hacked at it to try to keep it in, but to no avail. Redlite, come ahead. Loads up, takes the shot. Sends it across. Big cannon blast! And number 55 is going to uncork those from time to time. Rathage stood tall. Minute 50 left to go here in the second period of this semi-final contest. Pittsburgh Gods and Montreal Redlite, highly anticipated affair. Everyone was excited when they found out they were in the same group, so we were guaranteed that they would meet. And now we get them to meet a second time. Gods came out ahead the first time. Redlite looking to avenge. That one's loose at the circle, backhanded high, but blocked. Again. Yannick to the half wall. Yannick Jonf. Shot. Gets high. And it looked like that one too high. Are they saying that one hit the ceiling? One of the lights, maybe?
Yeah, it looked like it was going to come back down. I think it got caught up in the rafters for a little bit.
Well, they whistle it dead. And now just shy of a minute and a half. 3-0 Pittsburgh. We expected this to be a good competition, but we probably expected it to be a little tighter. Nonetheless, here we are. Gods lose another defensive zone draw, and you think eventually that's going to bite them. So far, it hasn't. Sent down around by Levasseur. Wheeling very calmly. Jeffrey Bradley. Back down into the corner for Levasseur. Spins off his check. Battling him is Gingell. Knocked down by Gallarducci, but given away again. Here come the Gods in the final minute. And they're offside. Steve Gregory just getting a little bit ahead of himself on that rush. Clock stopped at 56.6 rather.
Chris, talk to the Gods bench about Rethage staying in the net during that delayed penalty. They said he's really laboring. They didn't want him running.
Makes sense after a long weekend of hockey. Thanks for the insight. Another heavy collision down below the goal line in the God zone. I believe that's McDonough hoisting that one ahead. They battle to get it to the red line. The red light persists, but it does eventually come out. Montreal looking to gain the zone again. And intercepted again. Now flipped ahead. It's a breakaway. Oh, and he just couldn't quite make it. Jordan Allwright with a chance for a second, but they retain possession. All right. Circles that one back down to Potato. John Potato. Very strong on his man. Still fighting. That one was Hunter Godkin. Potato goes down. He's looked like he's in some discomfort, but official signaling that was just another ball into the rafters. John Potato. Now he's coming off. Gets the kudos from Hunter Godkin. 8.4 is all that remains of the second period. 3-0 your score. And an offensive draw now for the Gods. This one to be taken by Eddie McDonough against Alex Burrows. McDonough wins it. But they can't get it through that heavily crowded slot. And out comes Carl Gallarducci. Alas, it's all for naught. The horn sounds, and 2 of 3 are in the books.
Again, Chris, Redlite had their chances down front of the net, just couldn't find the back of the net. Like I said, I talked with the Gods bench. They said Rethage is really out of breath. Could be part of the heat in this place. I know it's hot, but if you look at him coming off, you can see he's not in the best of shape right now, it doesn't seem like. But I know him personally. He'll pick it up. He'll be all right.
Well, it's the biggest of stages, and it does make you think, obviously we don't want to look ahead of this game, but if they do win, then they're going to have to play again. We talked all weekend about how the conditions really do favor the local teams as they're used to it. They're used to the humidity, they're used to the slickness of the court. But nevertheless, a weekend of hockey is a grind, and I think we're starting to see the whole weekend and the quality of competition take its toll on some of these players.
Hey, Chris, kind of take that back. It looks like they just pulled Rethage for the third period.
Oh, wow. This is a huge turn of events. Rethage comes out. Ryan Nix comes in. And this, I know Nix has seen some action. He played in relief of Rethage earlier yesterday. But wow, this could be a turning point. A lot of pressure on Nix, especially after how good Rethage has played in this tournament so far.
Yeah, something serious must be going on with Rethage. Like I said, I thought for sure he'd be starting the third. Doesn't look that way.
If you're Redlite, you have to look at this as an opportunity to pounce on a cold goalie, don't you?
Well, I mean, they, at their bench, I'm sure, are saying we have 10 minutes that we need to pick it up and we need to score 3 goals. Then you see Gods pull their star goalie for whatever the reason.
And just like that, it doesn't matter because Drew Albright scores! And it's 4-0.
And Drew Albright just shut down anything they might have said over that break with a huge goal, like you just said, 15 seconds into the period. I mean, I don't know who's more motivated here, being down 3 now 4-0 Redlite, or the Gods knowing they got their backup in, they need to do what it takes to win this game.
This has the potential to be an absolute backbreaker for the legendary Montreal squad. Such high hopes, ranked number 4th overall in North America by ballhockey.com. They're running into a wall, and that wall is the number 2 ranked North American team, the Pittsburgh Gods. Glove down, and another ball blocked, turned over. Vargas Diaz can't stop him. Toe drag, and he didn't miss by much on that one.
What a move by Eddie McDonough for the Gods.
It looked like they were going to put up a 5 spot. Redlite won't go away that easy, though. This is still a lot of talent on this team. And Alex Burrows is only the half of it. Redlite gain the zone and immediately lose it. Chance for an interference call there, but no. Refs say play on. Danny Schlegel tried to bust up the left wing side. Could not. Here comes Redlite. Inside, muscled out. Steve Gregory, huge defensive play there. Banging bodies with Mathieu David. And Gregory flips it up. Wow, Beauchamp was going to play it, but it did end up being icing because he missed. Does that show a lack of focus on Beauchamp's part?
Yeah, it could be. You know, I think he's still in the game. He's still going to do what he needs to do. I just can't believe these Albright boys. They're all over the place, both with goals today.
Yeah, Jordan and Drew both putting up numbers. Steve Gregory's got one. And Danny Schlegel with the other. We're only a minute and a half gone in the third, though. Plenty of time, but the pressure appears to be mounting for Montreal.
So you know what the Gods are going to do from here on out with a 4-0 lead. They're going to stack this blue line in their own zone and make it extremely difficult for Redlite to gain it. Kind of what they've been doing all game long, but again, you still don't need that much offense here in the third. You can kind of cause turnovers at the blue line, put it back into their zone.
It's been all game long, it's been all tournament long, but now the first sequence of a little bit of prolonged possession by Montreal we've seen in a while. Carl Gallarducci stops that one before it crosses out the line. Top of the circle, a blast. And Nix makes a couple stops there. Ryan Nix coming in at the top of the third in relief of a distressed John Rethage. Comes up big, 7:47. His team's got the 4-0 lead in this semifinal. A division. These are some of the best teams and players in all of North America coming here for the 2019 Club Championships. Alex Burrows came out of retirement for it, and he's set to take a draw, and he wins it. Shot on Nix doesn't get through. Burrows again. The bottom of the circle. Burrows on the backhand. Gets away from him. Jordan Albright. And we got a penalty? Is that a hook? We got a hook. And if this is going against Montreal, and I think it is. Oh no.
No, it's going to be against the Gods.
Is that? See, that's Harry Sy. Takes a defensive zone penalty, and maybe this is the crack in the armor that Montreal is looking for. 7:32 on the clock. Minute 30 penalty time. Burrows' line stays out. They face a 4-goal deficit. And here's their chance to get one. They They work it along the perimeter, as they're so comfortable doing. Fakes it to the slot. Nix shuts the door. Big hammer from Yannick Labonte. Nix says no. 1:17 remaining on the penalty. 7:19 remaining in the period. Burrows stays out there. Matching up against McDonough. Burrows wins it again. They work around the perimeter, as they like to do. Redlite slowly encroaching. Here's the fake. Another fake, shot, and blocked. Excellent shot blocking and penalty killing. Great patience, and that was Rick Zimick, who has had a quietly very patient and successful defensive game. Good penalty killing, he blocks that one, but now, number 88 down along the outside. Wheels it up, that's Andrew Richer. At the point, Labonte, around, Plourde, gets to the circle, walks it in, across, fakes, and again. Very patient, fakes, across crease, shot, where is it? It's out! Didn't even get to Nix, and that was Jared Hursk. Quality penalty killing, we're under 20 seconds. Here comes Burrows, and he gives it away, short-handed. Ginjo, just content to kill the clock. And this penalty is 5 seconds away from being nothing. Given away again, Steve Gregory says no. Nix, a bouncer, made the save, left the rebound, cleaned up by his defense, and the penalty is no more. Another shot deflecting wide. Gets in tight, down low to the red light, tries to send that one through the crease and says no. Perreault to the point. Shot in front and blocked again. Perreault holds the line. Levassier. Olivier Levassier sends it around. To the dot. Blocked again. God's getting in front of everything. Goes down in a heap. They tussle. Red lights come away. Big collision in front. There's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, it looks like red light's going back on the power play.
Some words being said between Olivier Levassier and I believe the ultimate recipient of the penalty. Number 15.
Looks like Roy Dudney coming to join me in the box here.
There he goes. First attempt squandered or expertly killed, depending on how you want to look at it. Red lights get another. Still down, 4-0. 5:16 in the period. The last one, unless we need extras. Minute 30. As Deutney sits to think about what he's done. Alex Burrows. Oh, and we got a timeout. Yeah, team's going to take a timeout and think about it, because this is probably the critical moment in the game thus far. 5 minutes, 16 seconds left to go in the period. Minute 30 penalty. 4 goals for one, 0 for the other. Pittsburgh Gods with a masterful performance defensively in the neutral zone and on the counterattack. And they are just a little over 5 minutes away from closing out a wonderful performance here. Montreal trying to show everybody in the ball hockey world why they came back. Ironically, part of the reason for their return is because they believed that the competition here would be fierce. I don't know that they thought it would be this fierce. Facing a 4-goal deficit in an elimination game.
Yeah, God's had a great on that last penalty. They're going to need it again here.
It's a big ask, but penalty killers know that this is their job. This is where they make their hay. Zimick out there, McDonough out there, Potato out there, Sy out there. Red light, not their typical power play that time, as they don't mess around. Burrows drives his man into the glass, but nonetheless, Potato gets it out. Beauchamp picks it up at the goal line. His team resets and reattacks. Minute 5 left to go with the extra attacker. Cross the line, just barely not offside. but they've got it. Fleured across. They like to post up at the top of the circle. That one just fanned on. Misfire. You don't see that very often. As Alexandre Richet on the right hand, top of the circle. Just fumbles it. Fleured back. Hanging out on top is Provoblé. Tries to charge that one down. Can't. Burrows. 30 seconds left. Up to the end. Provoblé. Down to Fleured. Looking. Gets it nowhere. Again. Penalty killing coming huge. Only 15 ticks of the clock remain of the man advantage. 4-0 lead preserved for Pittsburgh. Across the line and right back up, but not out. Fires one. Vargas Diaz. Up high. Launching himself. Jordan Albright. Counterattack. Fresh out of the box. Pittsburgh. Doitny in the corner. Trying to work it to the net. Beauchamp. He makes a play. Pittsburgh hangs on. Still in the zone. Coming right back is Montreal. Hit the glass. Keeps on going. Mathieu David tries to go 5-hole and Nick says no. 3:15 left in the third period. Mathieu David kept to the outside. Strong body work by the defense. That was Chris Liebers leaning in on David. To the net. Doesn't go. Vargas Diaz and nothing again. Godkin. He's got a 3-on-2. Hunter. Oh.
They got another penalty. Doitny's right back in the box.
Jawing with David. Liebers was also a part of that little conversation. Third straight penalty. Nonetheless.
Yeah, there's a conversation going on here between the teams. I can tell you it's not a good game.
Looked like it was a cross-check was the indication. The rough stuff is building. The problem is the Redlite are just running out of runway. There's just not a whole lot of room left for them to make something happen. Doitny appears to not agree with the call. Coach Hurst having some words.
Always words of inspiration from Corey Hirsch, you know that.
He's a legendary coach in the sport, and he leads a legendary team that is going up against a legendary team. The storied history of Redlite. Dozens of championships, it seems like.
Wait, with Godfathers?
And all of that, this to unceremoniously get bounced in the semifinals, they need nothing short of a miracle. 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Third straight power play. Burrows wins it. Held high. Gallarducci. Oh no, I'm sorry, that was Provoblé. Le Botte to Provoblé. Here's up. Blocked again. Provoblé. Sends it underneath. Burrows has it now. I don't know if that was a fake or a misfire. Tees it up. That one's a fake. Another fake. And another one rolls off the heel. Charging after it is Steve Gregory. He's got a chance shorthanded with the empty net. And he scores! Steve Gregory! Shorthanded. Empty net goal. It's
Chris, another
5-0.
uncommon turnover by Redlite, just fumbling the ball, having a hard time handling it.
Unbelievable. And I see some frustration on Montreal's bench right now, and frankly, I don't blame them. They are getting worked in a way I don't think anybody anticipated. Especially in the quarterfinals where so many of these games were one-goal games. To see this in the semis. Redlite not giving up though. They still have 35 seconds of power play time. But now they're really gonna need a miracle. And that one's off the post. Beauchamp pulled again. 6 on 4 for another 25 seconds. Just like you said, the Gods posted up on that blue line. And they are not letting anything through. Dump in happens, it bangs off the glass. Redlite collect, it's Alexander Perrault. More bodies. As the Redlite get numbers, they try to walk it in front. It's a forest of sticks, they can't get through. Back to the point. Penalty is over. Shot to Nick, save, clear, but held. Minute 12 left to go. It's 5-0 Gods. Gallarducci sends it across, shot, Nick save. Second one, and Nick hangs on. 1 minute, 2 seconds to go. And time is slipping away from the Redlite.
What a job by Ryan Nix coming in a huge game in the third period. And, you know, he's really shut the door on Redlite, including during 3 power plays for the Redlite. I mean, that's just huge.
Nothing but pressure on this guy's shoulders walking into this third period, and he has been nothing short of perfect. And again, as you mentioned, major credit needs to go to the Gods penalty killers and their neutral zone play in general. This team has been monstrous defensively, and this is probably their best performance of the tournament. And we're in the final minute. Nix turns that one aside. Head to the empty net, and they score!
Chris, that's Joe Hadley, a.k.a. Haddlebags, with a goal from his own zone. And guess what? That's the first shift of the game.
Unbelievable. I don't know if that's
here.
I don't know if that's confidence or what. It's 6-0. 50.7, and the Gods bench is erupting. 2 empty net goals in the waning moments of this game. And they come again. Shot, Beauchamp hangs on. But it's almost moot at this point, 37.9. A 6-0 deficit for Montreal. It's incredible. Nobody predicted an outcome like this one. Not even Coach Corey. Not even Coach Corey thought this was going to happen.
No, I don't think he did.
He's got to be pleased with it, though.
I'll tell you what, though, he was still real passionate about whenever one of his players took back-to-back penalties. He come over and told him, keep your head.
Joel Provoblé, 20 seconds left to go, and now the Redlite just looking for something, anything, to recover a little bit of pride. Oh, Vargas Diaz tripping up his man. A little bit of frustration, and the referee sees that something might happen here. And it doesn't matter. This one is over. Let's see if we get any of the rough stuff. Officials doing a good job of trying to keep everybody separated. I think that's going to do it. But man, what a game. Pittsburgh Gods showing just what they're capable of. A 6-0 rout of the legendary Montreal Redlite. Absolutely a statement game for Pittsburgh. The Gods showing what they're all about, showing what they're capable of. And they impressed in the most tremendous of fashions.
Yeah, Chris, I don't think anybody was expecting that. It was a pretty good game, but man, did the Gods really just pour it on.
Top to bottom. I'm looking at this roster trying to think of 3 stars, and I could give 7 or 8. I mean, you already called out Ryan Nix, big time coming up in relief in the third period. Obviously, John Rethage with the solid 2 periods that he had closing the door. The two get to share the shutout, I suppose. Rick Zimick was quietly very solid on the back end defensively. And then you've got the Albrights. Drew and Jordan Albright leading the way. Of course, Steve Gregory being who Steve Gregory is. I just look up and down this lineup and I see big game performances from just about everybody.
Yeah, that first start, you got to split that puppy in half. To Rethage and half the Knicks for posting a shutout against Redlite. I mean, does anybody know the last time Redlite's been shut out?
I don't think they remember. So I'll go with your recommendation. Everyone else honorary mentions, but our number 1, number 2, and number 3 star go to the goaltending tandem of Knicks and Rethage. Absolute heroes in that one. What a contest. Well,
Tell you what, Chris, I think there's been a lot of talk about those two teams for years. You know, who would beat who. But regardless, some of the Redlite guys, I see you over here talking to the Gods guys, just giving them the utmost respect, and vice versa. So I think if anything, both teams have a lot of respect for one another.
And rightly so. Rightly so indeed. Whew. I don't know, Ryan, are you ready for another one?
I don't know, man. I might need a cold one or something over here. It's hot in here. You know, I could use an ice cold beer.
Well, for everyone following along at home with the stream, thank you. Hopefully you've been staying with us all weekend long. This is, of course, Memory to Video Productions here at the 2019 Club Championships. Sorry, I got to catch my breath after that one. That's one down. We got another semi, and then we got a final. Taking the warm-ups in front of us right now are the Ottawa Gods and the Niagara War Pigs in the second of these semifinal games in the men's A division, some of the best competition in all of North America. I mean, you just saw Alex Burrows lose in a semi, so that tells you what kind of people are playing out here today. We've got
Godfathers and War Pigs. This could be another great matchup. I think the War Pigs, I can't remember, I don't think the War Pigs made it to North American Championships, but the Godfathers did, played the Gods in the finals, and went down to the Gods in overtime. So know that the Godfathers, they can have the best of them.
I think as soon as anybody saw that the seedings after the group play were Gods 1, Godfathers 2, everyone immediately started thinking about the possibility of a tantalizing North Americans rematch. Well, the War Pigs are here to try to say something about that. The Redlites tried, and they came up empty in just about every metric. We've got a minute and a half left of warm-ups, but if you're on the stream, stay tuned, stay with us. We've got more. And then after this, after a short break, we will have the Gods and the winner of this contest to bring you the men's A championship game here at the 2019 Club Championships in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Stay tuned, more action to come. Okay, hockey fans, if you're just joining us, welcome. If you've been staying with us all weekend, then thank you. I'm Chris Blair. This is the 2019 Club Championships here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Ryan, what a ride this has been so far. We got one more to go before the final.
Yeah, and you can expect another great game. Like I said, I thought the last one was going to be a tight one, but I would think the same with this one. We'll have to wait and see.
Of course, for the fans at home, that's my man inside the glass, Ryan Saylor. He's given us a little bit of insight and color commentary. This has been a wild weekend of hockey, and it only looks to get wilder. We just saw the Pittsburgh Gods defeat the Montreal Redlite in a shocking 6-0 drubbing of the legendary Montreal team. Now, we've got War Pigs looking to play spoilers to everybody that wants to see the crazy rematch to this year's North Americans, which was the Gods and the Godfathers in overtime. We've got 30 minutes of play doled out 10 minutes at a time. The tuxedo-clad Godfathers going up against the Niagara War Pigs, another Canadian matchup. Ottawa and Niagara. 10 minutes up on the clock, making sure goalies are ready to go and in position. Marc-Andre Lacasse at center for the Godfathers. Looks like he's lining up against Ian Downs. Downs comes away with it. That one knocked aside with a hand and rifled in very quickly by Anthony Lovelace. Collected by Mark Purdy and spun around, turning that one sort of back against the grain. Mike Henter held calmly behind the net. I believe that's James Holden, number 13. He waits for his men to do some moving around in front. Pressuring very softly is number 97, Anthony Lovelace, for the War Pigs. A lot of movement in the neutral zone, which really the story of this tournament has been heavy and effective neutral zone play. Godfathers get it into the zone, try to control it, and they do. Back up to the point, big slapper. Coming all the way back in. Collected, stolen by the War Pigs, Lovelace. Lovelace takes a shot, and that one glancing up and out of play. Godfather's goaltender tested a little bit early on. Minute 1 gone here in a scoreless first period. That one came off a Godfather stick, so the draw is going to come out of the zone. And one by Jay Capaldi of the War Pigs. For a tournament that's full of big-name teams, the War Pigs seeded number 3rd here in the tournament. Surprisingly, one of the teams that not a whole lot of people are talking about. Nonetheless, here they are. Claude Blondeau sends that one in for the Godfathers. Charging it after it. Dan Bain Besjour. Another shot there by Blondeau. And that one up and out of play. Little tentative here early. But as we mentioned in the last game, fatigue has got to start me setting in. This is the end of a long 3 days of hockey. It's hot, it's humid, and the competition is fierce. Behind the net as two players battle. Comes around to the right wing side. War Pigs feast that one up to Mike Formica. Gets it in. Jesse Miller tried to feed the slot, and James Holden silences that attack. 7:15 left to go here in a scoreless first period. Second of 2 semifinals. The winner here will play the Gods for the A Division Championship. Some of the best ball hockey players in all of North America out for this event. Mark Purdy of the Godfathers. Very patient. Jason Smith, very casual with his forecheck. Doesn't want to give him anything easy. Smith showing that he trusts his defenders in the neutral zone to swallow up any potential outlet pass. Purdy was trying to direct some traffic, looking for openings, not really content with anything he's seeing so far. Very calm, very poised on both team sides, and a tight neutral zone as 8 players swirling, trying to find openings, and then finding those openings and closing them right back off. Marc-Andre Lacasse tried to pick it up at his blue line. Couldn't. Works his way around Tyson Mike, but turned aside by quick, smart sticks of the War Pigs. Mike on the blue line, and he gets inside for Smith. Smith fires, looking for a deflection. Don't know if it got to the goaltender, but Purdy's got it again. And he sets up shop behind the office. Anthony Ray on his right-hand side. And I can't quite see who that is on the left wing. 5:55 to go. Comes up to number 91, Mike Henter. He sends it into the zone. Ian Downs jousts with his man. Center shot. Purdy couldn't get it through. Tried to hack at it and couldn't. Jason Craig has to chase that one down, and it's covered up by the Godfathers. 5:37, and the Godfathers will see another face-off in the defensive zone.
A little slower pace to this one, Chris?
I would say so. Feeling each other out process here. Ian Downs takes the draw.
Well, at least the Godfathers dressed up for the occasion.
As they always do. These guys bring a party. They definitely get the credit for the most personality of any team here. Alex Martin tried to bring that one inside. Flanked by a winger, but none doing. Now, he pressed off that ball into the corner. Mike following him. Floated up. Charging are the War Pigs. Got to that one quickly, did Henter. And used a good job of using his body to shield it. Gets it over to Jason Craig. Craig across. That one in dangerous territory. War Pigs! Shot turned aside. Craig looking for some help, and he gets it from Holden. Holden up the wall. Crashing into him, Justin Bowers. Now he's got it. Big bodies. Bowers pushes his man off. He collects the ball from behind the net. Using good body position, looking for some openings. He's got men high, but he doesn't have any support low. Getting ridden along the walls by Holden. Shot! Just turned wide. Couldn't tell if he made a save or that one just bounced through the crease. But Anthony Ray has it now. 4 minutes, 15 seconds left to go in the period. Godfathers send it up for another attack. Jay Capaldi defending on this one, and he will come away. Capaldi. And he's, well, I thought he was going to change. No, he just resumes his position up front as the War Pigs break in, gain the zone. Niagara. It's Eric Tardif now in the corner, battling against Purdy. Supported by Capaldi. Capaldi and Tardif. Comes up and around. Thought maybe a chance for Ben Beausejour to explode with speed. Gets it across. And denied. War Pigs. Both teams showing a lot of structure and a lot of poise here. They're fighting in the half wall. Ben Beausejour can't get anything of it. Another counterattack by the War Pigs. On his stick! Oh, just rolled off the backhand of Mike Formica. 3:14.
It's a good pass in front by the War Pigs. Good rush, but Godfathers with numbers back. They're going to shut that down.
You can feel the frustration as it just rolled off his stick. He had a lane. Couldn't do anything with it. Tight checking here as we approach the end of the first period. Big shot and a save. Knocked down by Jason Craig. Being pursued heavily in front of his bench. This one comes all the way down, but no icing. Zach Rayoum on the forecheck. Rayoum's got it. He's on the backhand. Quick little pass there. Handcuffed his man, Matthews, unfortunately. Had the opportunity, but Matthews was not ready for it. War Pigs reset, regroup, offside. Very clearly offside there was Joey Lemos. Thought he would get away with one. Official says, nah. 2:43, and they have to bring the faceoff all the way back into neutral ice. A little bit of a discussion there by Brian Zolga. Talking with the official, maybe disagreeing with that offside? I mean, that looked pretty cut and dry to me.
Yeah, he's probably just trying to get the face-off out of the zone, which not going to happen.
Oh, I guess they're calling it an intentional offside. And that almost cost him, whipping a backhander. Godfathers trying to set up. That one just out of the reach of Rayum. Tried to pursue that one through. Instead, controlled down in the corner, down low. War Pigs come up with it. Alex Martin recoils in his zone, spins, turns, back to Rayum. 2:15, scoreless first. Slightly different tenor than our last semifinal affair. Very casual, controlled. And War Pigs really not interested in chasing behind the net. Jason Smith just watching. Looking for a move. 8 men cycle and defend up high. We're seeing a little bit of stretching now. Players coming down below the line, trying to pull those defenders out of position, and it's just not happening.
Chris, in that situation, I think what he was trying to do is put off the net there along the sideboards. It'll hit and then drop into the offensive zone, kind of like an easy breakout pass without going tape to tape.
Well, it's clear. We talked about it all tournament. We talked about it last game. Neutral zone play is key. And the Godfathers are definitely showing they are not interested in trying to carry that ball through a line of 4 defenders. And I don't blame them. Get it back to Purdy. Now we're actually seeing some forecheck result in a turnover. Second chance. Missed the net. But look at that. All of a sudden, the forecheck, Godfathers weren't ready for it. And this turns into some possession for the War Pigs. Anthony Lovelace sends that one underneath. Give and go. There's a fall there. No harm, no foul. Lovelace has it again. Turns and fires. Can't get it through bodies, and that one bounces up and onto the bench. But how about that? A little bit of an aggressive forecheck, and all of a sudden, the best scoring chance we've seen all game for the War Pigs. Minute 14. Still zeros on the board, and an offensive draw for Niagara. They make some changes. Jay Capaldi coming out with Justin Bowers on his left and Eric Tardif on his right. Behind the net is Craig. And so much for the forecheck. Bowers content to do what his team wants him to do, and that's wait. We're past the minute mark. Here comes Craig. Finds his man. He's got really nowhere to go with it. Mike Penter, and he just drops back into his zone. Hits Craig. Gonna try again. Whips one up the middle, off a foot, and they gain the zone. In come the Godfathers, and he just gets muscled off it, and that one covered calmly by goaltender Jackson Roberts. Well, this is why the Godfathers don't want to try to just possess through the zone. You really can't.
Yeah, I think both teams are doing a great job clogging up the neutral zone. Like I said, those plays off the net would be a good breakout at times. But you got to remember, both these teams are possession teams.
Absolutely. As is the style that kind of got them to this point, I think.
Right.
And once again, possession turned over. Eric Tardif on the right wing, top of the circle. Tardif makes a move. Tries to get inside through the feet, none doing. Godfathers hang on. There's a shot, down low and covered. Bottom of the net sealed. Godfathers poking away at it, and there's a whistle.
Well, activity in front of that. Looks
Pushing
like both are going to go.
That's Eric Tardif of Niagara. And was that Holden that he was competing with there, number 13?
Yeah, it looks like it.
And they're just going to get both of them, huh?
Yeah, both are going.
I think that's the right decision. Make sure that the refs maintain control of this game. We saw Gods and Redlite get a little chippy, a little nasty at the end. You definitely don't want to see that. 9 seconds left to go. Well, hang on. We do have a penalty up. Did the Godfathers... Okay, now they're both up. For a second, I thought the Godfathers got an extra one. But no, bucket and a half apiece. So the boys will sit, think about what they've done, and we'll see a little bit of 4-on-4 here. 9 seconds left to go and ticking. Backhander! Last second of the period. Good opportunity. Godfathers denied. That would have been something. Big job by the Godfathers netminder to step up big. We'll have another minute 21 of 4-on-4 as we head into the second. And maybe that'll give us a little bit more open space. We'll see a little bit more offense.
Yeah, I was just going to say something to that, Chris. Hopefully the 4-on-4 opens it up a little bit, gets a scoring going, and this thing turns into a shootout. We'll see.
That was the biggest save of the period there, was by the Godfathers. Otherwise, neither netminder really challenged too much there in the first 10.
Yeah, War Pigs have had a couple chances, I should say. Godfathers really haven't had much going on in the offensive zone here, but we'll see if that turns around in the second.
Yeah, it definitely feels like when Ottawa does get in the zone, the War Pigs are doing a very good job of containing and holding them to the outside.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how power plays play out in this game. I think both teams know how to shoot the ball and shoot well. So power plays is what the game might come down to. Who's going to capitalize on the man advantage?
Well, the funny thing is, you're probably right, but I'm not sure we're going to see very many of those. The systems that I'm seeing in play in the neutral zone, to me, say one thing, and that is discipline. These are well-led teams that know what is expected of them, and they will stick to their system. We did see a little bit of nastiness here, but it appeared to be mutual. So I don't know if we're going to see that many power plays in this game.
Yeah, you might be right, Chris. Might see none.
Although, I expected a similar situation with the Gods and the Redlite, and all of a sudden, in dramatic fashion, the Gods took quite a few minors late in that third period to jeopardize their then 4-0 lead. So, got a lot of hockey left to play. 20 more minutes to go, 10 more up on the clock. Minute 21 of 4-on-4. Both teams still kind of feeling each other out. Everyone feeling basically comfortable.
Oh, man, I'm sweating.
And this one won by the War Pigs. Daniel Rudich sends that one in. Chased down hard and collected. Cycles down low, back to Rudich. He's being leaned against by Henter. And that one turned aside. Gods have it. They start right away with their usual breakout, but frustration there. Zach Rayum was looking for the home run pass and claiming that one was touched. I believe by that's Solga, or no, that's Bowers. No, it is Solga. I don't know. It looked like he may have made contact with it. Official didn't see it that way, and it's going to come back for the icing. And that's a good break for the War Pigs because otherwise, Rayum's in alone. Offensive draw one by the War Pigs. Shot. It's loose. Down to the crease and hung on.
Yeah, goalie lost it for a second there. Didn't know where it was. Luckily, it was right underneath him.
Anthony Lovelace got that started with his blast from the point and followed up with some good second efforts. I think that's the sort of thing that they're looking for here. It's been a very grindy affair, very methodical, not a whole lot of space. 50 seconds left of the 4-on-4 though. See if they can generate something here. Godfathers win that one. Swiped up to Purdy. Purdy with his long reach gets that one back to Craig. Another opportunity for the home run. Bain Beaujour got it in. There's Craig. Beaujour swipes at the backhander. None doing. Chasing after it. Collected by Purdy. Purdy looking for Craig. His defensive partner had pinched all the way down low. Now he's off for a change, and that's a loss of possession there and an unfortunate one for the Godfathers. War Pigs try to come at this one with speed along the right wing side. Pulls up at the circle. Looks for his opportunity. Gets it across. Blast! That one blocked easily. That one trickling slow. Godfather's chance here. Gets a stick on it. Shot! Off the post! Oh my! Dan Bain Beaujour off the post. Best opportunity for the Godfathers all game. 4-on-4 is over. Lovelace sends that one in. Covered. Godfathers hang on. But what a chance on the breakaway.
Yeah, great chance. I had a great look at it from the box here. Had a good angle on it. Just put it right off the pipe.
Jackson Roberts doing a good job positioning-wise, but ultimately that's just a missed opportunity, and I wonder how many more of those the Godfathers are going to get. They're looking for that pass, but War Pigs so far have been very stingy. Big break with the goaltender's best friend there. This one gobbled up by the Godfathers again. Sent to the net by Solga. 8-19 and counting here in the second. Capaldi set to take the draw for the War Pigs in the offensive zone. And they've got it. Solga loads up, blocked. Chance possibly for a 3-on-2. They couldn't get it through the line. Great defense there, Zolga getting back. Chopping away, this one is Rayum. Gets inside, tries to use his stick, waves at it, that one didn't quite go. Roberts swings at it. Matthews now collecting. Matthews behind the net, loads up, fire that one off the mark. Second opportunity tracked down by Martin. Martin rides it up the wall. And that one just bounced over James Holden. And they're forced to clear the zone. Zolga pressuring, collected again by Matthews. Matthews tries to walk it inside, can't. Zolga's on him. Tardif also applying pressure. Bulos got inside but lost it again. Now there's some space. Number 87, James Brown, shot. James Brown missed the net. That one batted down. They rule inside. Shot! Robert swings at it. Goes high. Godfather's starting to feel it.
Man, that was close on the line there, Chris. I don't know if he really kept that in.
I wondered the same thing myself. Referees say play on, and so they do.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the one making that call.
Vasil Bulos sends that one towards the net, and it doesn't go. This one definitely held in. Sent towards the net, bounces off a few sticks. James Brown there underneath, and he picks it up. Brown, he's being pressured by Bowers. Justin Bowers leaning on him. Brown saved by Chris Matthews, who picks it up. Now he wheels and deals. Exchanges positions with Lacasse. Brown on the backhand! Didn't quite get a lot on it, and Jackson Roberts, easy, comfortable, covers that one up with the help of Justin Bowers in the D zone. 6:38 left to go, still scoreless, but a spark of life from the Godfathers, no?
Yeah, we're starting to see a little more back and forth action.
I wonder how much of that is players getting a little bit frustrated at the stinginess, so they start opening it up? Or are the players starting to figure out the defensive schemes and they're finding the holes?
Yeah, that could be it. Part of it can be turnovers too, Chris. As the game goes on, people start making mistakes, turnovers happen. That's whenever chances occur.
Absolutely. We're about halfway through this one. Just about a minute shy of that halfway point. Godfathers, and you're right, it is starting to become a little bit more run and gun. Held at the line by Rudic. There's a shot! Didn't quite make it. That one high over the net. Sending it back around, bouncing. Godfathers have it here. Charging in and cut off. Nice defensive body position there. Rudic and company shut the door and let Roberts close that one easily and comfortably for the draw in their own zone. 6:09 remaining here in the second period. Nothing up on the board. We know somebody's got to score. It's just a matter of who and a matter of when. Mike Henter tried to lean into that one, but it wouldn't go. Jason Smith charging on that right wing side. They've been attacking the right a lot. They like that look, but Mark Purdy says, fine, come at me all day, and then blocks another one. Lifted up and all the way down. Collected by Rudic. Number 11, Daniel Rudic gets it to his man. I believe they have gained the zone, and they have. Chasing after this one is Lemos. Turns and fires. Smith blocked again, but held. Joey Lemos sends that one back around as they try to cycle it behind the net. Turned over, but still applying pressure on the forecheck. Lemos does. Tyson Mike. This nice behind the net forecheck. Very successful right now for the War Pigs. They're just trying to find openings. Eventually they do, however, give it up because they need a change. And we're back to the stagnant hockey that is the Godfathers breakout. Patient, let's call it patient. We are now at the halfway point. No score yet. 5 minutes left to play in the second. Gloved at by the War Pigs, but chased after. And this one picked up by Bain Beljour. They come in hard and heavy. That one's in the feet, lifted high. And that one, I believe, banged in off the structure above us. So we'll have another offensive zone draw for the Godfathers. 4:49. Zeros on the board. Numbers 28 and 16 line up. These teams seeded 2 and 3. Lots of numbers, none of them goals. Backhander, clever idea. That one gloved down easily though by Roberts, who saw it all the way. Ian Downs for the War Pigs tries to flex that one out. Gets it up to Lemos. Now Chance chasing it after it. Nope, not even. Very easy there. And more frustration as teams just can't work it through the neutral. 4:28. And now we trade offensive zone draws. First one for the Godfathers, and now another for the War Pigs. Chris Matthews. Oh no, I thought he was going to take the draw there. Looks like instead that's Dave McCluskey. Won by the War Pigs, back to the point, takes a shot through traffic. Almost had a look there. Didn't quite connect. Now walks that one up high, shot, big rebound, high, swipe that, swing and a miss, second, 3 for $1, still loose. Goaltender didn't know where it was. Eventually, Brian Zolga takes the shot from the point, and the Godfathers do hang on. Teams changing here. Nobody really finding any answers, but we are starting to see them trade chances, so that's something. McCluskey again takes the defensive draw. And that's up against big 92 Jay Capaldi. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's not McCluskey, that's Basso Bulos. My mistake. Bulos now pressuring Bowers. Number 88, Eric Tardif, builds the wall, big body. Got really nowhere to go with it though. Jason Craig draped all over him. Tardif looking, sends it across. In pursuit is Anthony Ray. That one loose. Now turned aside. Here comes Zach Rayoum. Oh, and we got a whistle. We got a scuffle. We got some heated exchange here in the Godfathers zone.
Yeah, we're starting to see a little activity after the whistle here, huh?
Capaldi and Ray. Did you see what started that?
No, I didn't really see what started. I thought it was a good play behind the net. I think they kind of just got tripped up, rolled on top of one another.
That's kind of what it looked like to me as well. Not necessarily any one person's fault. Some physical play, and then...
Yeah, it looks like the refs aren't having any of it. Both will be in the box.
Well, and they showed us that in the first as well. They're really trying to maintain order in this game, not let hot heads get the best of anybody. So we'll have 2 more players sit for $1.30. And we have our second exchange of 4-on-4 in this game. Thought it might produce some open space the first time. Didn't really. Let's see if it'll happen this time. These are just 2 very defensively responsible and disciplined teams. Not a whole lot of cracks. Will be neutral zone. Looks like Mike Henter squaring off against Ian Downs. And that is the case. Downs wins that one for the War Pigs. Back to Rudich. Rudich just flips it high. That one's going to be collected by the goaltender. Holden was there, but Anthony Lovelace was coming in behind him, and the Godfathers decided, why risk it? We'll just hang on. We like our face-off game. And so, War Pigs will get another one in the attacking zone. 3:29 left in the period, second period of this game. The second semifinal. Winner of this one will get to face off against the Gods for the championship. That one bouncing, just bounced past Downs, but they retain possession. Redich at the point. Thought shot, instead sends it down underneath. Chased after. And collected by Downs. They come together in the wall. Well, that's not Downs, I'm not sure who that is. Hard to see from this angle, but they're jousting. Heavy bodies. I see James Holden's in there for the Godfathers. And eventually dug out by Lovelace. War Pigs, chance! Didn't quite get it on net. Bodies draped all over each other. There's just no room 4-on-4 or not. Walking in, backhand score!
Warping on the way to break free there and get wide open in front of the net.
Strong power move. I believe that's number 16, Ian Downs, who finally breaks the scoreless tie. But man, did he have to earn that one with some physical work on the boards down low. Walked it out, finally found some space, flips it over the goaltender, and the War Pigs strike first. 2:39 left to go in the second, and it's 1-0 Niagara. And here they come right back. They want to see if they can get another. Godfathers trying to respond. Chasing after it, but handled cleanly, comfortably. Niagara works it behind the net. Claude Blondeau in pursuit. Up. And controlled there. War Pigs, chance! Tardif trying to feed the front of the net. Second one swings. Goaltender looks behind him.
He doesn't know where it is.
Referee says
He's got it though, yeah.
Yeah, he
did. Kept it out.
Just underneath that right pad. Fell awkwardly, but kept her out. 2:07 now. Another offensive zone opportunity for the War Pigs. You know they'd like to get another one here just to really put the screws to the Godfathers. Number 9, Mike Formica.
Godfathers aren't happy with their play over here. I hear him telling them to wake up.
That one gets to the net and they score! That was sent to the net by Brian Zolga. There were some bodies in front. I couldn't quite see from this angle if anybody got a piece of it. Players immediately flocked to Zolga though. That may have been his, and that's definitely 2-0.
Yeah, War Pigs are really starting to pour it on. Godfathers just looking down the bench here, they kind of look stunned.
War Pigs look like they've found some life, and now they just want to press the attack as much as they can in these last 2 minutes of the second. We spent the majority of this game knotted at zeros. All of a sudden, late, War Pigs have a 2-0 advantage. Godfathers looking to answer before the period closes. And they do have a chance here as they gain the zone, and this one coming down, Alex Martin. Martin sees a shot, but it gets blocked. Back to Martin. It's on his stick. He has to take it backhand. Curls aside. Gets himself up to the top of the circle. Soft pick there by his buddy Matthews. Martin still on his backhand, being pressured, gave it away. Good read defensively. Minute 20 to go. And here comes the War Pigs on the counterattack. That one swiped off his stick though, but Formica back to Zolga, shot! And hung on.
It's a heavy shot, no traffic in front, so the goaltender saw it all the way.
We did start to see a response from the Godfathers though. But you're right, if they're looking at their bench right now, I mean, yeah, they're looking like they're looking for answers.
Yeah, so like I said, some of the guys are coming off telling everyone, wake up.
Well, they had been, we were calling them very ponderous, very intentional, but now it is starting to feel like maybe a little lethargic. Regardless, they've still got time, minute 10 in this period. And that one just rolls off his stick. You got to watch out for those errors at this part of the tournament. They can be killers. Because you know the War Pigs would like to get one more here in the last minute if they could. And here they come. Into the zone.
Good pass.
Back to his man. Walks in and it just falls into a pile of bodies. Joey Lemos ran out of space. Good idea on the pass from Smith. Lemos wanted to cut to the inside and just ran into a fallen Godfather. Tough break, 30 seconds now in the second. Tyson Mike bounces that one up to Lemos. Rolls just in front of Mike and out of his reach as James Holden collects. 20 seconds now. They enter the zone. They've got a little bit of time. They play D to D. 10 seconds and now they give it up. Chance for a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Loads up, shot! And that one blocked, never got through. Final 4 tick away, and the Godfathers are staring down the barrel of a 2-0 deficit heading into the third period.
That's a good block by Godfathers at the end there. 68 for War Pigs. He was really cranking it up on that one.
Ryan, what did the War Pigs do in that period to turn things around for them? Because it went from both sides being pretty patient, pretty methodical, pretty listless, to all of a sudden, it looks like the Godfathers are asleep and the War Pigs are jumping all over them. What happened?
Yeah, I think the War Pigs are doing a little better job pressuring the Godfathers, causing turnovers in their own zone. Also, they're doing a great job getting people to the net. You look at that second goal that went in from the point. Wasn't like a hard shot or a rip from the point, but with traffic in front, Godfather's big goaltender couldn't see it.
Absolutely. From my vantage point up here on the scaffold, I looked down, I could see daylight, I could not see the goaltender's eyes, and I think that was pretty much the story of that one.
Yeah, I was going to say you had a better vantage point than I do.
Well, same thing on the first goal, where it was just a lot of focus, energy, determination on the forecheck by Ian Downs. He wins not one, not two, but 3 board battles, spins off his man, finds open space, and charges to the slot to bury it. And I think if the Godfathers want to get back in this game, that is going to be the mentality that they need. They need to have a bury our chances mentality.
Yeah, I think Godfathers got caught in the corner whenever War Pigs kind of were cycling and switched there. All of a sudden, War Pigs wide open in front of the net and made a nice move to put it in the net.
Absolutely. 2-0, by no means an insurmountable deficit. Godfathers will have 10 minutes to find a way to get to their rematch with the Gods. War Pigs looking for a chance to be part of the conversation like they should be. 2-on-1, walks in, backhand to forehand, sprawling, scores!
That's a turnover by the Godfathers in their own zone. Looked like the ball just rolled right off the blade. Don't know if the ball's getting soft or a little sticky, but doesn't seem to be affecting the War Pigs play.
I didn't get a good look. I know Downs was on the play. I don't know if he finished it, but excellent second opportunity. Goalie made the first stop, and then just like that, followed up. Godfathers didn't get back in time. Rebound goes top shelf, and just like that, it's 3-0. Another win on the draw. Rudich for the War Pigs.
I feel like this third period's like the Gods and Redlite game all over. Gods come out, score seconds into the game, you know, just to put more salt in the wound to the Redlite, and you see the same
well, look
for
out,
War
they're looking
Pigs.
for more. Couple more chances just off the outside of the net. A couple of saves turned away, and now quick up. Ulos bounces that one, chopped that, but Rayum. Andrew Jegg is going to be credited with the goal on that last one. Andrew Jegg. Nonetheless, it is 3-0. Godfathers try, bouncing ball there. Solga, totally comfortable handling that. We're going to have another draw. Godfathers, offensive zone chance. Minute 1 gone here from the third period. But they were hoping to cut the lead to 1, and in less than a minute, they make the lead 3. Tough breaks here for the Godfathers, but they've got to find a way to crawl out. They've got time. Marc-Andre Lacasse takes this critical draw, and they lost it. War Pigs come up big. That's Bowers. Gets that one to the red line, pushes that one through, forces it heavy. Chased down by Capaldi. Capaldi gets a stick on it. Bowers is there supporting. Bowers gets in, up to Tardif. Tardif tries to just power that one into the slot. Almost got there. Good stick, though, by James Brown. And they turn it back up. Charging after it. And right quick, War Pigs control and look to send it back the other way. Looks like right now the War Pigs just have the legs. Bowers. He sends that one high. Possibly off a stick, definitely off of something it shouldn't have been. This one's going to be another offensive zone draw for the Godfathers. 8:14 up on the clock. Scoreboard reads 3-0. The away team in charge. Number 3 seed in this tournament following round robin play. They took out the Warriors after a scoreless first but closed out the second with 2 goals and the third with 3. Looking to have a similar template here against the Godfathers. Down in the corner, another rough, grindy shift. Ottawa trying to replicate what Niagara did to them. Shot almost turned aside. That's the best chance we've seen from the Godfathers in quite a while. And manufactured in a very similar fashion to that first goal. Big number 91, Mike Henter, set to take the offensive zone draw. Had it at first, but Formica took it away. On the run, trying to beat out the icing. It just barely not getting there in time is Joey Lemos. I saw it on his face, grimacing as he passed the circle, realizing, I'm wasting a lot of energy and I'm not going to get to it. We redo things now. Offensive zone draw yet again for the Godfathers. Ottawa looking for one, looking for life. Bouncing ball, loose in front, sends it to the net, and turned aside. We're seeing a lot of shot blocks in this tournament, and there's some more opportunities taken away by deft defending.
Looks like a slash coming up here against the War Pigs.
Oh yes, they pulled their goalie. 6-on-5 for some bonus time. Rayum dished that one off to Purdy. Mark Purdy to Rayum, fakes the shot. Sends it down to the half wall, back up to Purdy. Rayum moves low, tries to open things up. Purdy slowly walking it in. Touch pass back and forth. Winds up, goes back to Purdy. Not a whole lot of movement beneath the ball. Seeing a little bit, but bonus time is bonus time. Rayum comes back to it, Purdy, and these two continue to play catch. Now down into the corner, that one picked up by Henter. Henter walks up the wall, back to Rayum. Over to Purdy. Patient, patient. Rayum, shot, block. And that will be touched by Rudich, and it's all for naught. Bonus time goes nowhere, 6:44 left, but we do get the call, and thus, Godfathers still have a minute and a half to try to do some damage and get themselves back into this game.
So with 6:44 left, you're down 3-0. Is this a must-score power play?
If it's not, as in if you don't score on this power play, you are really limiting your opportunities. You know, we said bury our chances has to be their mindset. This is their chance, and so yes, I'm going to say they have to bury it. Blondeau takes the shot, set aside. Cross crease, doesn't get on net. Blondeau picks it up again on the glass. Over to Purdy, back to Blondeau, shot misses the net, bounces off. Chance there for Dane Beaujour. Dane Beaujour, up for Blondeau. Back to Beaujour. Walks in, shot, missed the net. Back to Purdy. 30 seconds for the power play gone. But they retain the zone. Purdy. They got to get bodies in front. Purdy. They're just playing catch. That one fumbled by Blondeau at the point, but he holds the zone. Touch pass, almost trickled out again, but Blondeau's got it. Beaujour. Dane Beaujour. Blondeau. Purdy. They're playing catch, but they're not getting any looks. There's the shot. That was the one they wanted, and they couldn't bury it. Holden was there for the rebound, and no. War Pigs up. We got another confrontation. Ho, hey-oh. Getting aggressive. 2 scraps behind the net. And officials having a hard time separating.
Yeah, still jabbing each other.
Well, we're going to see some extracurriculars for this for sure. But that's got to be the 3rd or 4th, if you count both parties, 4th time we've seen these teams express how much they dislike each other.
I'd assume they're going to take both of them. That's going to put the Godfathers on a 4-on-3 power play, right? For 14 seconds.
If in fact all 4 go, which I agree, I think they should, and I think they will. The question is anybody gone? anybody's night's done. It doesn't look like. Well, let's see. They're doing some calculus to figure out what the final results of this are. Scorekeeper furiously scribbling away. Let us know if you hear anything. Right now, it still reads just the 14 seconds remaining on the slashing minor, but we've definitely seen other bodies retire and have a seat. 5:28 remains in the game, and the War Pigs do lead by 3.
Okay, so I'm thinking they're going to give them both roughs. So you're going to have a 4-on-3 power play. The benefit to the Godfathers here is they might be able to work this in tighter and lower towards the War Pigs net and might even get better opportunities.
Well, based on their previous attempts of controlling the zone, I think that's what they want. So we'll see. They're not really working a traffic or screen game. They're working a one-timer cross-reese option. And here we see, right away they take the shot because they know time's of the essence. 5 seconds to go before that 4-on-3 turns back into a 4-on-4. And it does. War Pigs get the man and make the change. So we're back to 4s. Good pressure here. War Pigs coming back. It's Ian Downs. He's already scored once. Downs. He's got it. He's got Jeg with him. Andrew Jeg on the cycle. Pressed high by Henter. Downs still controls. Back over to, that's Zolga. Zolga and Matthews collide. Zolga. He's got Jeg. It's Jeg. Shot! One-timer and a beauty. Big save. Zolga. Heavy boards there. Colliding with Purdy. Purdy almost lost it, but he didn't. Now, coming back is the Godfathers. Tries to roll that one. It's loose! And covered. Chris Matthews charging in with the second chance there, generated by Zakraoum. But they get nothing. 25 seconds left of the 4-on-4. 4:23 left of the third. 3 goals is how many the Godfathers need to tie it. We are definitely in critical mode now for Ottawa. So much talk of a Godfathers rematch. But to me, this is the War Pigs saying, nah, we belong on this stage. 4.5 will decide it. Jason Craig tries to center, jumps in. Loose, grinds out below. And more of the rough stuff.
Here we go.
More of the rough stuff. Jackson Roberts, goaltender, just trying to get out of there as quickly as possible, but this is starting to turn ugly. We've already got a pair that are sitting. The third set of coincidental roughing minors. This may be the 4th. Officials talk it out. There's a little bit of a yard sale of gear on the rink. There. Still a lot of talking. Nobody's moving to the benches yet, though. Curious to see where this goes.
Yeah, it looks like we'll be getting more company, I guess, in the penalty box here.
It's been the party room, for sure. Jason Craig of Ottawa. And, well, no. I thought he was walking to the bench. He didn't. Okay. Are they just going to let it go? Huh. Officials are now conferring independently. Teams are lined up at 4 aside. And I think that's how it's going to stay. All right. Yeah. 15 seconds remain on the 4-on-4. 4:13 left to go in the third period. And somehow, out of all that, the 4th fracas we've seen this game, there will be no additional score sheet. Godfathers charging in after that one, but Brian Zolga, totally comfortable, sends that one back around. War Pigs looking for another one of these long leads. Gets to Bowers on the backhand, save! Got hauled down, maybe looking for a call, but no, play continues. Anthony Lovelace up to the point. Dolga! Shot not controlled. That was an early whistle. Eventually the goaltender did land onto it, but that one was loose when the whistle came. We've seen that a couple times already here. In this case, no harm, no foul. The penalties are over. Everyone's back out of the box. 3:44 left to go in the third period. Niagara War Pigs lead the Godfathers 3-0 in this semifinal game of the A Division 2019 Club Championships in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Formica lost it. Chris Matthews with a head of speed. Matthews gets to his forehand. Drop pass. Shot! Big save! Still staying with it underneath.
So if you're Godfathers, you got to take nothing but chances here. You're down 3-0 with 3 minutes left, so look to see their defense get involved.
We're seeing some speed here for sure. A lot of jump there by Chris Matthews as he busts out on the rush. With 3:23 to go and 3 goals left, the question is, you're the coach of the Godfathers. Do you wait until you get within 2 to even think about pulling the goalie, or do you start thinking about pulling him sooner?
I don't know. I think at this point, what do you have to lose? You know what I mean? You're down 3-0. I think you want to pull them early and see if you can get that first goal, you know what I mean, to get life in your team, and then kind of go from there.
We'll keep an eye and see if he's looking to the benches. Nice little dust up there. Formica lost control of it. Jason Craig gets that one into the zone. Godfather's goaltender not interested in leaving just yet. Whirls and spins is Chris Matthews. Back to Mark Purdy on the point. Purdy gets it down. Purdy loads up for one-timer. There's the shot. They're waiting for possession. They've got it. Ball is loose. Covered. Jackson Roberts, and more slashing, more talking, more coming together. Woo, woo. These guys look like they've been rivals for the last 10 years. 2:51. Still a 3-goal game. Godfathers out to go with 6. It's still not insurmountable, but it's a pretty big ask against a very good team. Okay, a little bit more discussion. I guess Godfather's trying to figure out who they want where. Maybe buying a little bit of extra time for rest. Boulos gets in position. Big physical win there by the War Pigs on that one. Flipped high, aiming for the empty net, and they catch the rafters. Jason Smith was tracking that one all the way, as was Tyson Mike. Both of those War Pigs looking to deposit what they would consider the game winner or the game sealer into that empty net. It remains vacant. 2:46. Ottawa Godfathers, 6 attackers. Chopped at but held. Godfathers. That's Alex Martin. Shot! Loose! Where is it? And it's come out! That did end up in the empty net, but there was a whistle beforehand.
Yeah, they blew it. The net come off down at the War Pigs end.
Okay, yeah, a little bit of a physical confrontation. Net came off. 2:31. This game hanging
Godfathers
on.
were a couple inches away there from putting their first one in the net on a rebound.
It looked like it. Jackson Roberts, the goaltender, was down. We've seen Roberts go down a couple times here in hairy situations, but in every case, the defense has been there taking care of it. Net still empty. The deficit still 3. Godfathers trying to find a way. War Pigs putting on a clinic defensively right now. There's a shot and another shot block. And really not just right now, all game, War Pigs have been smothering the Godfathers, frustrating them in every turn. Comes up, thinks about it. Nope, not even going for the empty net, just trying to clear. Jeg.
That ball's still in.
Didn't get it out. Just past the reach of Jeg. Diving. Those Blondeau. Back for Blondeau. Loads up. Blocked again by Jeg. Jeg scored the last goal. Waved at by Roberts. Godfathers It's Martin, Alex Martin. He's got traffic. He's just trying to find a seam. He can't. He dishes aside. Changing the angle in front. Pushed out by the War Pigs. Still down low. Still battling. Heavy. Fanned on that one. More bodies coming together. Big thrust there. Mike Henter thrown off the ball. Comes all the way down. They say no ice. Minute 15 as the clock rolls on. Teams change. It's do or die now for the Godfathers. Charging in back against that one is Daniel Redlite. Sends that high floater. Is that one going to be icing? And at the last second, yes, it was. 57.2. Ball comes all the way back down. Now we're under a minute, and the Godfathers need 3. Anything can happen, but this is starting to feel like the War Pigs are putting the bow on a pretty impressive defensive product here. Dan Ben Bejour.
Looks like a timeout by Godfathers.
Timeout.
War Pigs doing a great job blocking shots in their own zone there, huh?
Oh, like I said, they're getting in shooting lanes. They're getting in passing lanes. They're being disruptive in the neutral zone, which we continue to point at as being one of the keys to this whole thing. They're just not making very many mistakes, and I think that's one of the biggest, most important parts here. Obviously, it's hockey. Everyone's going to fumble a puck here or there. Everyone's going to miss a check, something like that. But for the most part, they've been relentless. We saw it early on when they weren't giving the Godfathers the breakout that they wanted. They just hung around. They smothered them. And when it mattered most, they won the physical battles. Final chances here. Zacharium runs that one down the side wall, back into the corner, and many bodies come together. At least 5. Worked up, held at the line by Rayum, but now collected by the War Pigs, and aimed towards the empty net. Soft, doesn't make it, and he wasn't over the line, so it'll be another icing, 36.3, and counting. If you're the War Pigs, and you've been playing such a sound game, and you know you're 36 seconds away from a final, what do you do to retain your composure?
Yeah, you just try to win this face-off into your corner, either hang onto it or, get it out of your zone real quick. But if you can avoid icing it and just don't get involved with anything after the whistle.
Turning and firing, digging down low, puck was loose, on the backhand, another scramble, and they're acting like they scored.
It went in.
I couldn't see the indicator from the official from this angle, but it looks like the Godfathers have scored. They break the shutout with 21.5 seconds left, and the Godfathers have life.
What do you think, Chris? Do you believe in miracles?
We'll see. Show me one more, Ottawa, and then we'll talk. We did mention earlier, though, that was where Roberts looked the weakest, was in those scrambles, those net front battles, when things got chippy and dicey. We lost sight of it, and it just trickled in. We'll wait for the official goal call. It's 3-1, but time is rolling. Collected, fired, scored, empty net goal, and that's going to do it. Eric Tardif pounds it home.
And they're going to run the clock out. 4-1 win for War Pigs. That's a huge win for them.
Absolutely.
And they played a fantastic game.
Mentioned it a couple times throughout the weekend. The War Pigs are the one team that not a whole lot of people were talking about, but man, should they have been. These guys have been coming in game after game and just playing sound, responsible hockey. And if you're staring down at God's team in the A Division Championship game, sound, confident, disciplined hockey seems to be the only winning play, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can't go against what they've proven to work for them, and that's playing sound, structured defense, look to shut teams down in the neutral zone, block shots. I mean, they just simply outplayed the Godfathers today, really gave them no chances whatsoever to even get back in the game. I honestly thought we were going to see a shutout here come down the end. Godfathers squeak one in with like 21 seconds left, but got to give credit where credit's due. War Pigs really played well.
Very, very close, down to the bitter end. Alas, we will not get the North American rematch between the Gods and the Godfathers, but I think we might get something even more exciting. So, this one's in the books. Final score 4-1 on the empty netter, and the War Pigs, the Niagara War Pigs, are going to be going up against the Pittsburgh Gods in our final. We're going to take a little bit of a break. The plan is that we're going to come back around 6 o'clock for the big final game. Stay tuned. The stream should have updated times about when to come back. It's going to be a short break. I guarantee you, you don't want to miss this one. This one's going to be big. Thanks again, Ryan, for being my man behind the glass. Can I count on you for one more?
Yeah, we'll see you for the final. I wouldn't miss it, man.
For Ryan Saylor, I've been Chris Blair. This is Memory to Video Productions, and stay tuned for the men's A Division Championship game between the Niagara War Pigs and the Pittsburgh Gods right here only on Memory to Video Productions.